What's up, motherfoxers? I screwed myself, and this is why. Here we are again. Sorry about the noise. Mr. Heater's heating us up in here. Asking yourself, what'd you do? Well, here's the problem. Yeah, she was leaking. So, when I was watching the video of the guy telling us about this whole thing, he said, check it. If the impellers in there have any cracks on them, it's fine. Spin it. If it's smooth, it's fine. Stick it back on. That all checked out, but then later on that decided to check out. So, oh well, here we are. No, I mean, these engines, I was afraid to work on these things, but after doing the timing chain on it, they're not that bad. The only thing bad with the 3.5 liter is just the real estate, all the turbo tubing and vacuum lines and shit take off. You gotta tear everything apart just to work on it. I mean, for me to find the issue, because I walked out to a puddle underneath my truck at work 20 miles from home, and I knew it was out of antifreeze. I went down to the truck stop, just dumped just all-purpose antifreeze, because I knew whatever was going in it was coming out. So I couldn't figure out where it was coming from at work, so then I went down to the truck stop and got some antifreeze, stuck it in there, started the truck, and then heard what it sounded like, you know, sand and bearings. Looked underneath it to see if anything was leaking, and then this is the problem. You got all this shit here, and I'm sitting here trying to shine in there, trying to see the accessory drive, and I caught a nice angle of the, you know, the pulley on the pump, just there going like that. And I immediately shut my hood and said, I gotta go. You made it home. So here we are tearing all this stuff apart again. And this is pretty simple. It's gonna take less time to put this thing on than it is to put everything back together. That's the only thing that sucks about these. So good engine, I like it. It's just I'm not a big fan of turbos. That's why I'll never put one on my car. I thought about it, and it's just too much real estate, man. Superchargers are much easier to deal with, but in my opinion, but Coyotes that aren't, you know, turbo charged and stuff, they would have been a lot easier to work on. So, but still, I like this engine, but this will be pretty simple. It'll probably take me 15 minutes to put that on.
A little longer now.
15 minutes to put it on, way longer to put everything back together. So here you go. You know, this is way easier than I think maybe a Fox body. I mean, you gotta put some RTV and stuff on it. Look at this, man. They got little divots, little locators for you. So that kind of just snaps right on here. Bloop, bloop. Look at that. Now you just stick it on and you start putting the bolts in. That's cool. Ford, but you know, all the piping and stuff, you know. Well, here we go. Yeah, there's a pipe in the middle down there, guys. It's got an O-ring in the water pump, and what's cool is you just like push it on and it stays right there. Don't you just wish, you know, Fox bodies did that? Like I said, there's pros and cons with everything, I guess. So, for some reason, I had to take that pump back off because I went to go put one of the bolts in. I thought maybe the bolt was bad. You know, I had a little gum part, you know, a little gummed up thread. I stuck another bolt in there, did the same thing, so you're gonna have to run a tap in there. So yeah, there you go. This must be easy. And there's a handy dandy little tool you get off Amazon, guys. SAE and metric to know what threads you need to do. And we got, if I stick this, let's see, M7, I doubt it's an M7, yeah, it goes right in there. How about an M6 by 1? Get back here. M6 by 1, there we go. Screwing right in, there you go. So you got one side's a screw, the other side's for a bolt. So either tap and die set, or get an M6 by 1. Clean out the hole. Clean out the hole! We're not even on the hole right now. Alright, there you go, everybody. Everything's just hand tight now. I gotta torque them down, but yeah, the only drawback of this is you gotta take the thermostat housing off, which is a massive kind of thing here. There you go. That's the easiest serpentine belt to put on in the history of all serpentine belts, I'll tell you that. And you can only get these so tight because every time you try to tighten it, the idler pulley loosens. We tried to counteract that with putting a wrench on there, and yeah, it wasn't working. It was just sliding. So I think it's fine. But now I'm gonna put the housing back on and then stick the monstrosity back together. There's the housing. Now all this pipe is going to go right here. So you see why I had a difficulty trying to find the accessory driver there? That's what I'm talking about. Turbo real estate, man. It really sucks. Through here, up through here, up through there. All right, I want to show you what I saw when I was trying to look at the accessories when everything's hooked up. They're pretty covered there, you know. That's the problem with this stuff. But I mean, you could get over here. Like I said, I was trying to see the pulley down there, and I did catch it like right here with my, not this flashlight, but my spot flashlight, and I saw it wobbling. So yeah, that's, I didn't know where it was coming from, and when I saw that I knew. So but there, it's all back together. We're gonna put some antifreeze in it, and hopefully she's good now. I'm gonna turn this thing, tear it apart again. There we go. There's no like sand and bearing noises going on. And no wiggles. Yeah, the pulley looks like it's tracking straight. So. Well, gang, after a little bit of an adventure there, took off with it. She heated right up. I mean, like, too hot. And I immediately had to turn back around. Just couldn't get it burped, man. It just did not want to burp. We didn't have a problem when we did the timing chain, but jeez, she just did not want to burp. There was no heat. The big high speed fan was on. That's never good. When that's on, something's wrong. And then we shut it off for a while, started it back up, got the same thing, kept taking the cap off, letting air out, trying to push the hose to let air out. And then finally I just said, you know, I'm gonna take it for another ride. So immediately I took off down the road, and it started to heat up again. And immediately I turned back around. By the time which was like a quarter mile away, but when I turned back around, I heard my fan in my heater fan just change. And I was like, I reached down and I started feeling heat, and everything opened up. So she's idling right now. We got some heat, and then another problem happened was, I don't know who, because I didn't touch the throttle body, was completely loose, so it was bleeding again. Why do we keep having that problem? Except it was a different spot. But took care of that, and everything started working again. But it's all set, man. All done. I guess I should have changed that water pump. Just bought a new one and put it on.
We started hearing noise in there again. And I was like, what's that, the Eiler? He looked at me and shook his head. Maybe I should have bought that too. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching this stupid thing I could have avoided months ago. Later.